Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to United States Transportation Command Change of Responsibility Ceremony, where Fleet Master Chief Donald O. Myrick will relinquish Command Senior Enlisted Leader responsibilities to Chief Master Sergeant Brian P. Kruzelnick. I am Technical Sergeant Sean Williams from the United States Transportation Command Intelligence Directorate, and I'll be your narrator for today's ceremony. The presiding officer for today's ceremony is the Commander, United States Transportation Command, General Jacqueline D. Van Ovos. The change of responsibility is a traditional event that is rich with symbolism and heritage. Since the earliest of times, leaders used a banner or other symbol to identify themselves or as a rallying point for their warriors. For the modern-day warrior, his or her unit colors record the command's history, its glories, its battles, and its campaigns. The commander is the custodian of the unit's colors. The change of responsibility ceremony symbolizes the trust and faith of the commander extended to the command senior enlisted leader to advise her in caring for the men and women of the entire command. The command senior enlisted leader is the principal advisor to the commander on all matters of enlisted leadership, professional and career development, health, welfare, morale, and effective utilization of personnel assigned. Equally, the command senior enlisted leader serves as the commander's critical censor, integrator, and synchronizer to ensure strategic focus, effective joint force integration, and synchronization of efforts. Internally, the command senior enlisted leader advises the senior staff on warfighter readiness and force development in support of mission requirements identified in the command's strategic campaign plan. Lastly, externally, the command senior enlisted leader provides strategic and operational leadership perspectives to the senior enlisted advisor to the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, service senior enlisted advisors, and fellow combatant command senior enlisted leaders as a member of the Defense Senior Enlisted Leader Council. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to recognize our distinguished guests. Please hold your applause until all guests have been introduced. Fleet Master Chief Myrick's wife, Giselle, and children, Arnaud and Jacques. His sister-in-law, Corinne, and his cousin, Yolanda. Chief Master Sergeant Kruzelnick's wife, Corrine, and their children, Janai, Latalia, and Giovanni. We would also like to welcome General Van Ovos' husband, Mr. Alan Frosch. The wife of the commander, Air Mobility Command, Mrs. Ashley Minahan. Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, Joanne Bass. The Deputy Commander, United States Transportation Command, Lieutenant General John Sullivan, and his wife, Jennifer, and their son, John Thomas. The wife of the Deputy Commander, Air Mobility Command, Mrs. Lynn Reed. The Chief of Staff, United States Transportation Command, Major General Susan Henderson, and her husband, Bill. The former Chief of Staff, United States Transportation Command, Major General retired Vincent Barker, and his wife, Stephanie. The Commander, 375th Air Mobility Wing, Colonel Chris Robinson. The former Command Senior Enlisted Leader, United States Transportation Command, Chief Master Sergeant retired Jay France, and his wife, Senior Master Sergeant retired Monica France. Former Air Mobility Command, Command Chief Master Sergeants, Chief Master Sergeant retired David Spector, and Chief Master Sergeant retired Andy Kaiser. The Command Sergeant Major, Military Service Deployment and Distribution Command, Command Sergeant Major Brian Morrison. The Command Chief for 375th Air Mobility Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Sean Andrews, and his wife, Amy. The Command Chief for the 635th Supply Chain Operations Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Nicholas Connor. And all general officers, flag officers, senior executive service personnel, directors, deputy directors, senior enlisted leaders, co-workers, friends, and family joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of Ruffles and Flourishes, the presentation of the colors, and the national anthem. Color Guard, present the colors. Thank you, USTRANSCOM Color Guard and the Band of Mid-America Airlifter Brass. Chaplain Sullivan will now provide the invocation.
Good afternoon. I will pray in my faith tradition, and I invite you to pray in yours. Let us pray. Gracious and Heavenly Father, giver of all good things, I ask that you bless this change of responsibility from one faithful leader to another. You have proven to qualify those you call, and their success is a testimony to your presence in their lives. I am reminded of your servant Elijah and his dedication and courage, passing his mantle upon to Elisha as an example of your love for your people and the drive you give your leaders. May we all strive to lead with such passion as these two men have exhibited in their careers. Allow this mission to continue with success, command to be solid with direction, and lives to be impacted by guidance of those you have called to lead. I ask that in all that transpires today and in the future, that you be glorified, Lord. It's in your name I pray, Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Sullivan. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. General Van Ovos, the floor is yours.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. It's so great to be here. Thank you for coming out and celebrating this change of responsibility, showing your support for the Myrick and the Kruzelnick families here, and for the men and women of United States Transportation Command. So, first, thank you to Fleet's family, Giselle and the twins for being here. Also in attendance is Fleet's cousin, Yolanda. Thank you for coming. From California, and Giselle's sister who came to us from London. Corinne, thank you so much for coming. Longest travel right there. I want to thank Chief's family as well. Corinne and the children are here. Janai, Latalia, and Giovanni looking good today. Thank you. And, you know, I appreciate Air Mobility Command, all of it. Look at that, Scott down there at the end. Everyone coming here today, general officers, and Chief Bass, thank you so much. Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force coming gracing us today. Thanks for making time to spend here at U.S. Transportation Command and Scott Air Force Base. I know you'll have a great visit here. Let's see, Chief J. France, look at you, and Monica, thank you for coming, former CCL. The Jack Commander, where's that guy? Did he make it? No. Okay, he's off my Christmas card list. CSM Brian Morrison. There you go. All right, great. And again, the rest of the general officer, flag officers, and former C-cells, thanks for coming out. And as you just heard, the responsibilities of the Command Senior Enlisted Leader, or C-cell is our acronym. You just heard that those responsibilities are vast and critical. And while these responsibilities are mirrored at other combatant commands, I would say that TRANSCOM sits in a unique position requiring unique leadership. Spread across the globe, our command is charged to project and sustain the joint force, to deliver hope to those in need, and a combat credible force at a time and place of our nation's choosing. By, with, and through our allies and partners, commercial industry, and the whole of government, our team must meet competing global commands in support of national defense. TRANSCOM must be ready now and into the future to execute a wide array of global missions, from the movement of patients, providing mobility forces, enabling rapid response to crisis and conflict, and moving our joint warfighters to the point of need. This command requires a senior enlisted leader that can carry the weight of global synchronization and force development. That means we must sustain our fight tonight culture to successfully execute our core missions in support of our national objectives. Here are some familiar examples of our incredible people successfully executing our global missions. The Afghanistan evacuation, the baby formula shortage, Ukraine support, Operation Pathways, projection and sustainment across the Pacific, and humanitarian aid to Turkey. To execute these missions, we cannot do it without a competitive and resilient warfighting team, a team of people that make the difference between victory and defeat. And our C-cell senses and integrates this force, allowing us to adapt and build relationships that support this great team. The gravity of the C-cell's role is centralized around commander's intent. The C-cell can independently work towards the vision of the commander as a lead advocate for the command's missions and priorities. This is done by working through the senior enlisted advisor to the chairman and his peers, advising on all matters involving joint and combined total force integration, utilization, and health of the joint force. The C-cell also serves as an advisor to our directors, our component commanders, our component senior enlisted leaders on warfighting readiness, force structure, and joint developmental of education for our enlisted personnel. This breeds esprit de corps and cultivates a culture of professionalism, something which Fleet Myrick did really well. Fleet Myrick is a tried and proven leader at every echelon, and he has always had my full trust. He secured my intent in this complex environment. Don set a powerful example by my side in the halls of Capitol Hill, advocating for us during our congressional office calls. He was the enlisted voice for over 2 million service members and their families, sensing their needs and engaging with the armed forces to see through the massive global household goods reform efforts. Don identified an enlisted joint acculturation gap immediately when we arrived, and he quickly instituted the first TRANSCOM's Joint Enlisted Professional Development Program, further empowering our warfighting team. He also counseled our senior leaders and commanders. He sensed the force at all levels and delivered actionable feedback on multiple battlefield circulations. You know, there's a sense of confidence when your team can be level set because of the unifying efforts of a strong senior enlisted leader. So, it will be clear, it'll be tough to see Fleet go. The pages of Giselle and the twins and Fleet's chapter are going to be full of incredible new opportunities, both personally and professionally. And I know this family will thrive. You made me a better commander. You made TRANSCOM a better command. And you made us better warfighters. We're truly grateful for your service as this command's 7th C-cell. You have done justice to the expectation. It was an honor to be on deck with you. You delivered. My thanks to you, Giselle, and the kids for your selfless service. Now, TRANSCOM has delivered logistics miracles, but the rapidly changing strategic environment is thrusting the nation and our command to adapt in what the Commander-in-Chief has coined the decisive decade. Regional aggression will continue to present opportunities to project and sustain the joint force to assure our allies and partners and deter our adversaries. And climate change will continue to increase the need to provide humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. Our team has clearly demonstrated that the maneuver and logistics that TRANSCOM provides is a deterrent. Our presence during routine missions and exercises on the ground, at sea, in the air, shows the world what our nation can do and how fast we can respond. This seeds doubt to any aggressor that they can achieve their goals. With that, the gravity of the TRANSCOM's and CCEL's role in supporting the National Defense Strategy is only increasing. We will need an equally strong and talented CCEL to help us deliver into the future and help us prepare to meet these challenges. I trust in Chief Kruzelnick. I know he will rise to the challenge as the 8th CCEL for TRANSCOM. He has proven his commitment to the team over the past 3 decades because his purpose, his why, is rooted in his love for his family and for his country. For those of you who have not had the pleasure to meet Chief, coming from Air Mobility Command as the Command Chief since August of 2020, he has been in the thick of things. COVID-19 operations, Afghanistan Go to Zero drawdown, Afghanistan NEO, Ukraine support, and he prepared the force for Mobility Guardian. He knows the Pacific well. He was the Command Chief at 5th Air Force in Japan. He put his relationship skills to work, creating and hosting the first ever F-35 maintenance symposium with Japan. He also led the first ever bilateral space symposium with Japan. From this came the establishment of Japan's first space squadron, and he championed integrated training for our ally at Peterson Space Force Base. He clearly has demonstrated his versatility, his agility, and strategic mindedness. Chief also has experience developing and managing our command chiefs. He is a member of the CIMSAF's Council, working on enlisted development and quality of life issues for the Air Force. He created development courses for non-commissioned officers, senior NCOs, and command chiefs. For example, he secured professors and executive coaches from the National Defense University to teach and train our airmen. He also instituted the Warrior Heart program at Air Mobility Command. And he is a living example of an empathetic and approachable leader. The Warrior Heart focuses on readiness through mind, body, and craft domains. It promotes resiliency, which we will need in order to face the new challenges in this age of strategic competition. Supporting him over the years is his family, his wife, and his children. Alan and I are thrilled to have you, Kareen, and the kids on Team TRANSCOM. I thank you for agreeing to take on this new adventure. So as the tide turns and the winds shear, as the challenges change and provide new opportunities to serve, America's core of enlisted leaders will rise above the challenges and succeed because they are the backbone of our profession of arms. They will protect the security of the American people. They will help in the expansion of economic prosperity and opportunity. And they will help realize and defend the value of the heart of the American way of life, regardless of the challenges of this decisive decade. Because they are led by amazing COCOM and senior service enlisted leaders like Fleet Myrick and Chief Kruzelnick, who prepare to be ready now in the future as a competitive and resilient warfighting team. Thanks again to the Myricks for their love and dedication to this great command. We will certainly miss you. And thanks again to the Kruzelnicks for your service as we move to this new adventure. Together we deliver.
Thank you, General Villalobos. Ladies and gentlemen, United States Transportation Command, Senior Enlisted Leader, Fleet Master Chief Myrick.
So I used to always laugh at General Barker because he's an emotional individual, but I actually didn't want to tell you I'm softer than you. So General Vano has already got me a little bit here, but kind of tears of joys. But seriously, thank you everyone for being here today. This is really, really a remarkable moment. These are tears of joy. I've had a just remarkable career, and I don't look back and regret anything. And I'd like to start off first by acknowledging all the people here today. Obviously, ma'am, thank you for hosting it. Alan, it's been a pleasure just, watching you navigate, as I say, I'm going to use Navy terms, sir. We're going to use Navy. We're going to move away from the Air Force now. Got to put this Navy stuff back on here, right? Chief Bass, the fact that you are here today, I was in a previous role, the executive assistant to Master Chief Pastor of the Navy. I understand the requirements on that position and supported the entirety of the Department of Defense, not just the Air Force. The fact that you're here today is just tremendous. Thank you very much. General Sullivan, it has been an honor, sir, to serve alongside you. I told General Van almost today in my exit interview, you are just a remarkable general officer and more importantly, even better human being. And it's been an honor, sir. Thank you for being here, ma'am, with your family, Ms. Reed, General Henderson. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to work with you too much, but your reputation precedes you. Bill, it's a pleasure to meet you. And my battle buddy, wow. That laugh. Man, sir, I miss you. I miss you a lot. I miss you, Steph. And the fact that you drove from Wisconsin to be here says a whole lot about what our relationship means to you. So thank you. I got a couple of dear friends here today. Retired Command Master Chief Brian Exum has been a mentor of mine for 20 years. And I will tell you right now, there's no way I'm here today if it's not for that individual right there. I always doubted myself, and he always pushed me. So, Brian, thank you for being here, man. And one of my best friends in the world, Navy Chief Petty Officer retired Tanya, she came in, she said, I'm coming. I actually forgot to invite her. I'm not going to lie. And she saw it on Facebook, and someone was like, hey, buddy, you're retiring. And so next thing I know, she was on a flight. To the Jaders, wow, what a remarkably talented group of professionals. I just have never, ever seen talent to the level of each of you. It was, seriously, Ken, Mr. Buster, my guy, I watched you. I'm a Sobek, just remarkable talent. Ma'am, you came in, and I would tell you the J1, she came in with that analytical focus and the numbers game, and I said, oh, General Van we done hit the jackpot. And I look over at the side, also over here, and I see the wing leadership here, Colonel Robinson and Colonel Cooper. Thank you for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure to watch you lead your wing, sir, and continue to surpass any and all expectations within the Mobility Air Forces. And Jay France. There's no doubt in my mind I wouldn't be here if he didn't go to General Lyons. General Van was an advocate on my behalf. And so I'll be forever grateful for you, me and my family. And Monica, thank you for being here as well. And I would tell you, somebody sitting next to him is CSM Brian Morrison. This gentleman, I need everything, I would tell you. I just don't have anything in my house. And Brian has everything in his house. He is literally the Home Depot neighbor. And so, I went to ask him for things you could not imagine. He probably said, what is Fleet doing over there? But he always goes in that garage and comes out and goes, here you go, Fleet. And I go, can you call me Don? All right, Fleet. I'm not going to forget my battle buddy, Doug Hall. Doug, you made me a better person, man. Them conversations we had were deep and rich, and how you were able to just articulate the needs of this actual enterprise to General Van Ovos from a congressional lens is quite remarkable. And I know she's happy to have you on her team. And I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna save my family for last, but I wanna stop real quick, and I wanna talk about Ms. Karen Kruzelnick and Janai, Latalia, and Giovanni. My wife, as you know, she's Cameroonian, French descent, and she has no family here. She's been here following me around the U.S. ever since 2014. And Karine, you really, really, really gave her the sense of being a sister. And Janai and Latalia, the way you embrace my sons, is family away from family. Can you please join me in a round of applause for them, please? To my cousin/sister, my mother had me, she was very young, she was 20, and her older sister, Yolanda's mother and father raised me as theirs. And so it was 4 girls and me, and we were raised as siblings. And so we're first cousins, but we're brother and sister, actually. I mean, she's absolutely my best friend on earth, and we talk consistently. She annoys me, I mean, I gotta be honest with you, but there's no greater honor I can have than to have you here today at my ceremony, so thank you. And then Corinne, my wife's sister, she's an attorney in London, and she left the practice of law and her children to come and be here with us. And so thank you, Corinne, for being here. Love you, Coco, to death. And to my boys, I have 3 adult sons who are not here today. One's supposed to be here, my oldest, Brandon, 32, 30, and 28, and Brian and Justin, and they just couldn't, well, one is stuck on a flight, Brandon, and the other 2 just couldn't make it in. But hey, I love my sons, and you'll hear a little bit more about that tomorrow at my retirement ceremony. And then Jack and Arno, the apple of my eye. I'm gonna talk about it more tomorrow at my retirement ceremony, but you make me so proud just to be your dad, and all your mother ever wanted to do is be a mom, and you gave her that joy, and you still do. And so thank you very much. And my Frenchie, as I call her Frenchie, although she's an American now, I still call her Frenchie. She tell you, sweetheart, I love you to death. I know how hard it's been for you being away from your family and me always gone. But again, having the love of the Kruzelnick family next to us, and Jennifer Vandervos and Alan so understanding. I just thank you for everything. I couldn't have been successful in my role if it wasn't for my actual staff. They say it takes a tribe, and I had a remarkable tribe of remarkable airmen who were on my team. And I think a few of them are here. The ones that are here, can you stand up, please? I got, and my staff was Senior Master Sergeant Rias, Senior Master Sergeant Vaughn, Master Sergeant Mendez, Master Sergeant Green, Master Sergeant Odell, Master Sergeant Select Heiser, Master Sergeant Select Sirianni, and Master Sergeant Select Markham, and Tech Sergeant Retired Dover. Okay, please join me in a round of applause for my team. And Chief Bass, I want you to know I'm batting 1,000. Every airman that came to my office has promoted. That's right, and I'm proud of that. Today is about the importance of change. And change in leadership is a cornerstone of our greatness as a military and a nation. On this day, let's honor the Kruzelnick family and their continued dedication to our great nation. BK Bryan, you are the right person at the right time to assume this mantle. Your track record of success and leadership is in the annals of the Air Force's archives. And I know you're going to do great things here at USTRANSCOM as well. I look forward to seeing many of you tomorrow at my retirement, where I'll go more in depth into my why and what each of you mean to me. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Fleet Master Chief Myrick relinquishes responsibility to Chief Master Sergeant Kruzelnick. Order of Relief for Fleet Master Chief Myrick. Having served faithfully and with distinction, you are hereby relieved of responsibility as the Command Senior Enlisted Leader, United States Transportation Command. You have executed the duties of your office with dignity, dedication, and devotion. Your leadership to the enlisted members and the sound guidance to the command's officers have been of the finest quality. You are relieved of your duties as a Command Senior Enlisted Leader, United States Transportation Command, effective 6 July 2023. Charge orders for Chief Master Sergeant Kruzelnick. Let it be known from this day forward, as a Command Senior Enlisted Leader, United States Transportation Command, the command has placed special trust and confidence in your patriotism, dedication, integrity, and leadership abilities. In so appointing you, the commander has charged you with the utmost leadership and mentorship for all enlisted members in the command imposing sound guidance to the commander, showing care and compassion for all command members and their families. You assume all responsibilities as Command Senior Enlisted Leader, United States Transportation Command, effective 6 July 2023. Thank you, General Van Ovos and Fleet Master Chief Myrick. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It is my honor to introduce our 8th Command Senior Enlisted Leader, Chief Master Sergeant Brian Kruzelnick.
Good afternoon, teammates. I'm going to keep my comments brief because I have not proven myself to you, nor have I earned your trust yet. The person that passed the flag to me did, though, and he's done that for over 2 years, so we should honor him, and I know that we'll honor him tomorrow after 37 years in the military. I'm not going to have anybody raise their hand and see who's 37 years or younger, because that might be a bad thing, but 37 years in the military is a lifetime. Thank you, Fleet. I know everybody's already been welcomed, but I do have to recognize a few people, so just bear with me as I do that. First off, to the color guard, to the band, and to Chaps, thank you so much. That was wonderful. To the world-class protocol team at TRANSCOM, you have crushed it once again, and all the teams that helped you do that, to include my execs. They're my execs now, right, Fleet? I got the flag. To my execs and everybody in between, fantastic event. All right, I'm going to step over here. The Chief Master Sergeant Air Force. Thank you, Chief Alsvik and Team 19 for being here today. I know what your schedule looks like, and you carved out time in that to be present, and it means the world to us. Fleet, Giselle, boys, you're still awake, that's good. You have been critical to this command, and to be honest, you've been critical to Team Kruzelnick. Thank you for that. Fleet, you have poured in 37 years of military service into this command, and they are better for it. We have nothing but love for you, and we hope that that transition to the next chapter is very smooth. Lieutenant General Sullivan and Jennifer, thank you for being here. JT, can I call you JT? Okay, good, I appreciate that. Miss Lynn, I love you, and there's nothing you could do about it. Major General Henderson and Mr. Henderson, thank you for being here today. Our wing leadership, Colonel Robinson and Chief Andrews, thank you. Command Sergeant Major Morrison, representing SDDC, this thing gets loud, you gotta be careful. Appreciate you being here. And then former Command Senior Enlisted Leader of TRANSCOM, Jay France and Monica, thank you both for being here. And my two prior execs, Waite Rainford and Mr. Rainford. Mr. Rainford wasn't my exec, but he's married to Master Sergeant Rainford, so I appreciate you. Rainford, it was a pleasure working for you, so thank you all with all you have done for me. And the person that hired me, General Van Ovost and Mr. Frosch, thank you for an opportunity for Team Kruzelnick to work for you again. And thank you for the opportunity to serve this command. I'm kind of short for words on that, and that's unusual for me, but I think honored is what I feel. Thank you so much for that. To all other general officers, flag officers, SESs, joint directors, to our senior enlisted leaders, to our commanders, to our civic leaders, to our family and friends, thank you all for being here today. And family hit a neuron. My family, look, we drove here together. My wife got the keys, so I'm going to make this right because it's too hot to walk back home in a polyester suit. But I've said this before publicly, and I'll say it again. Some people look their whole lives just to meet their hero. I married mine. Thank you, baby. Thank you. And to my kids as well, Janai, Giovanni, Latalia. We have gone through good times, we've gone through struggles, but we've always done it together. I love you so much. Now look, you don't have to clap for that, we're good. We just celebrated the birthday of our nation's independence, won by our forefathers, and every generation thereafter has a responsibility to protect and secure that since 1776. We have the con now, we do, to take a Navy term. And no force in the world is being more relied upon than the one that I'm looking at this moment. You are not a global power because you can move from state to state. You're a global power because you can touch any spot on this earth at will through air, land, or sea, or a combination of all of that. And there's only one force that can do that in the world, and I am looking at them. And you have been doing that since the 1st of August, 1987, when General Cassidy took the first TRANSCOM flag with a command of about 98 people, to the fact that we get all the way to General Van Ovos, to 122,000 TRANSCOM humans. And through that time, we've changed strategies and we have adjusted priorities, but one thing always stayed true. We deliver for the warfighter. You project and sustain combat power whenever and wherever our nation needs it. You're the most consequential force in the world at the most consequential time that we have seen. You are amazing. When I had the opportunity to be here and be in this position, I started to really think about all the things that you accomplish in this command. You look at any service, they cannot execute their agile combat concept without you. If you look at the Air Force, agile combat employment. If you look at the Army, you look at your multi-domain operations, you look at the Navy, you look at distributed maritime operations, you look at the Marines, it's expeditionary advanced base operations. I don't care what word you use, it requires you. I'm honored now to be on your team. I'm honored to be your wingman. I am honored to be your shipmate. I am honored to be your battle buddy. I'm here to serve this command. I am here to work for you. And only together we will deliver. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief Kruzelnick. We will now present Mrs. Myrick with a bouquet of roses for her unwavering support to the command, the local community, and Scott Air Force Base. The roses are red and in full bloom, symbolizing our sincere appreciation for her devotion, dedication, and tireless efforts to the men and women of this command and their families. We will now present Mrs. Kruzelnick with a bouquet of roses, welcoming her to the command. The roses are yellow and budded, symbolizing warmth and new beginnings. As will the command's affection, these roses will bloom over time. The men and women of United States Transportation Command bid a fond farewell to Fleet Master Chief Myrick and are pleased to welcome Chief Master Sergeant Kruzelnick. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the departure of the official party. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Please come forward and form a line from your left to congratulate Chief Master Sergeant Kruzelnick and his family. Also, please join us for a reception in the back of the room. Thank you for attending and have a pleasant day.